the cost of being successful, right? For some insight, it's 4:20 a.m. in the morning. Yesterday, or technically yesterday, I made the most amount of money I've ever made in a fucking day, right? More money than I would have touched in a year, doing what I used to do, delivering pizzas, working on site, whatever shitty job that could get me by, right? The most amount of money I've ever made. And the sort of realization that I had today, the feelings that I had wasn't, success, it wasn't celebration, it wasn't, it's not what you'd think it was, right? I don't feel anything today. All I have taken from today is the decisions that I've made to get to this point and the sacrifices I've had to make. Now, for some insight, it's Friday here, right? In Marbella, it is bank holiday, right? And instead of taking the win of today, the milestone, and celebrating, instead of going out, instead of popping bottles, instead of, whatever the fuck I normally do, I've done in my past, my whole life, today, I decided to double down, Got the laptops out. I'm about 4 coffees deep. That's how I'm even filming this at this time. And we got back to fucking work, right? And I look back on my past self and, the majority of people would have made that decision. I know I certainly would have, even 12 months ago. And those are the sort of decisions that will inevitably set you back, right? And that's when it comes to the cost, the sacrifice, right? Of being successful, of running something this high echelon, running on such a high frequency. And you might be sitting there thinking, great advice, Kian, don't go out and spend it all, don't go crazy when you have a win. Now, it might seem obvious, but it's not. And my whole life, right, every great opportunity I've had, I have fumbled because at the last hurdle, I take my eyes off the prize. I wasn't willing to give the cost of what it would take to be successful. I wasn't willing to sacrifice. I didn't know how to say no. The mastery, the art of saying no is so fucking important, right? You need to be able to say no to people, and you only find out the true inner works of someone when you tell them no. And over the last 12 months, I have said no a million fucking times. I've said no more than I've said no in the last fucking 21 years of my life, right? So you want to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to make it, right? Well, be prepared to say no a million fucking times. Be prepared to be doubtful. Be prepared to go broke. Be prepared to maybe even go into debt like I did. Be prepared to have a strained hairline. It's not fucking easy dealing with all this stress. It's not easy running a business at this echelon and having hundreds of people relying on you. It's not. Be prepared to have strained relationships. Be prepared to not be present in moments. One thing that I'm actively working on is being more present in the moment, enjoying life in the moment. But the thing about enjoying life in the moment is when you are trying to build something future-proof, you're trying to build a legacy, you're trying to build something huge, humongous, it is hard to live in the moment, because on days like today, which should be a huge success, a huge achievement, a huge celebration, it's not. Because all I am thinking about is, what is my next move? How can I make double the amount I've made today? How can I make triple the amount? That is where my mind is. And if you want to be successful, you need to be so hyper-focused on what's to come, because 99% of the world, 99% of people live in the present. All they care about is now. Why am I not rich now? Why am I not successful now? Why don't I feel good right now? You need to be okay with delayed gratification. You need to be okay with waiting. You need to be okay with doing things and not getting an instant result. Like, when the fuck did it become such a big thing? And I talk to a lot of people all the time, right? And the biggest thing, the most repetitive thing I hear most of the time is, how long do you think it's gonna take me to get here? How long is it gonna be before I make this much? Or I'm here and people Bro, I don't fucking know. I'm not Genie. If I had a genie, if anyone has a genie, please let me know, because I would love to know when these things are gonna come. But that is the thing about being on a mission. It is uncertain. You don't know. There is no one holding your hand. There's no one telling you this is the right way to do this is the right way to do that. If you want that, go to fucking university. Go get a normal job, because they'll tell you exactly when to do this, when to do that, when you'll get paid, how much you'll get paid. You know, when do you have your time off? When can I spend time with my friends and the park? You know, go do that. But if you want something exceptional, you want something beyond that, then be prepared to fucking not know, right? I don't know what tomorrow's gonna look like. It's fucking 4 AM right now. I'm hosting an event tomorrow. I don't know how it's gonna go good, but I don't know what my day consists of tomorrow. I don't know who I'm gonna meet. But this is the beauty of it. You've got to understand this, and the sooner you accept that fact that you will not know, and the journey of entrepreneurship is doubtful, it's uncertain, the sooner you accept that and you grasp that and you stop trying to fight it, the sooner you'll get the momentum and the success you want, because the universe listens. If you're an ungrateful, spoiled little brat who's a little baby always crying about, I want this now and I'm not sure, I'm scared, well, you're not gonna get anything good come your way, because you don't deserve it, and you're probably gonna give up before. So you need to be okay with that. At first it's scary, and trust me, I can sit here and give this bravado and say that I am fully woke now and I'm with the shits, but you know, there's some days that I still feel very, very fucking lonely and very doubtful. But that is entrepreneurship. It is up and down. If you want a determined outcome, like I said, go to university, get that job. You know what you're getting, right? But if you want something bigger, something larger, something more fulfilling, then you've got to accept what comes with it. You need to be okay with having a high stress tolerance. The whole thing with entrepreneurship and the cost of success is you need to be a problem solver. You need to be the boss, because you know, you don't have a boss in this, you are your own boss. So if a problem comes up, you need to solve it, and you need to be okay with stress. You know, the amount of stress that I have dealt with in the last few years, 3 years, has been insane. And I'm not even here to blow smoke up my own ass. I know if most people had the stresses that I had, the things go wrong that I had, and you know, some insane situations, like how the fuck can stuff possibly even go this wrong? Most people would not be able to hack it. And my stress tolerance is one of my greatest strengths, right? And that is it with entrepreneurship. The more money you have, the more problems that come off the back of that. But these are the good problems, the problems that you want, right? What color car should I get? Or my mum's moaning because I won't take her to Bali when she wants to go to the Bahamas. You know, these are fucking good problems to have, the right sort of problems. And that's the thing, you need to be grateful for the good problems, right? I'm too busy, it's too stressful, it's too much pressure. Those are good problems. Imagine the problems you have when you don't have any of that and your life is boring and everything outcome is set. Oh, I get a 2% bonus this year. I'm gonna put on all the work and all the stress. Whereas the stress that I deal with, holy shit, I can make the most amount of money I've ever made in my life in a single day. Those are the type of problems you want to be having, right? So you need to be okay with that. And last but not least, you need to be okay with missing out. You do, because it's not all glamorous. It's not romantic. It's not like in the movies. It's not the Wolf of Wall Street, right? It's not like that. It's a 2.5-hour film of how someone went from nothing to being a fucking multi-millionaire, right? In the space of 2.5 hours. That's a movie, right? Now you've got to live your life like a movie. You're the main character, but you know, it doesn't happen that fast, bro. It doesn't happen overnight. And there is no cutscenes from the shit to the good. You get everything in between. There's no way to skip that. There's no way. You have to deal with it all. You have to deal with the good and the bad. You have to be okay with missing out. And, you know, it could be relationships with a girl. It could be friendships that you're gonna lose out on. It could be experiences. You know, you have to choose the right choices and you have to make them consistently. There's no point in making great decisions for 6 months, and then after that you get to this milestone, oh, I'm doing well now, and for the next 6 months, I'm gonna make a fuck ton of shit decisions. I'm telling you, 10 good decisions in entrepreneurship can be completely outweighed by 1 bad decision. You don't get the perks of being able to make bad decisions, regularly. You don't get the perks of being, lazy or saying no. You don't get the perks of that normal life and those normal responsibilities where you can just turn your back, turn your alarm off, ignore your messages, ignore your phone calls, make a fuck ton of bad decisions. You do that in this game, you can lose everything. You could build something up for 2 years and lose it in a month. I'm telling this from first-hand experience. I've had it multiple times. Now, were these all factors always in my control? No. Some of these things were out of my control. But at the end of the day, you need to blame yourself. Everything is your fault. Everything that has gone wrong, everything that is going wrong right now is your fault. Even if it's something external, the reaction that you're having to it is in your control. Now, something awful might have happened, something bad might have happened to you, something might have happened to you that you didn't deserve at all. You don't deserve this fortune, but it's happened now. So what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You're gonna cry? Are you gonna feel sorry for yourself? Are you gonna make bad decisions actively as a result of that and send yourself back into a downward spiral? No, I did that my whole fucking life. You can't do that. And that is why, although, I've only had this sort of upwards trajectory in, the last 12 months, like real upwards, I've had so many good opportunities my whole life, and I didn't want to pay the cost of being successful. I wasn't willing to make the sacrifices, or I'd make the sacrifices for 80% of the match, and then in the last minute, the 94th minute penalty, the end of the match, I'd give up. I became someone that acted well under pressure, negative pressure, like you need to make this work or you're gonna lose everything. That's when I decided to show up and make good decisions. But when I was ahead, when stuff was going well, that is where I started to make bad decisions. That's where I wasn't willing to pay the cost of being successful. And that's why the universe didn't grant me that. There's no coincidence I'm sat in this Lambo right now fucking chatting shit to you at 4 a.m. in Marbella. There's no coincidence. It's because I've made the right decisions every single fucking day for more days than I can count on my hands. And I'm going to continue to do that. For example, a key Canon event today, made the most amount of money I've ever made in a fucking day. I didn't even flinch. Give me fucking more. More. No, I'm not gonna celebrate. No, I'm not gonna go and get hungover for fucking 2 days and send myself in a downward spiral of bad decisions. No. You know what I mean? And that's just the difference between me now versus the me for the last 21 years of my life. And if you're watching this and you can relate, I've been this close every time, this close, and I fuck it up in the last minute, or you're like me. There's 2 types of people in life. There's people that perform well when they're winning, it pushes them to keep going. Those are the most successful people. They don't fucking stop. They could have the hugest win of their life and they're gonna go just as hard tomorrow, if not harder. And then there's the people maybe like you, who only want to act once they're falling off. You get a small win in your life and you think that you've made it, and then you just go in a downward spiral and you only save yourself at the last minute. You save your neck. And the truth is, you're never gonna scale. You're never gonna reach the echelons that you wanna hit with this mindset and behavior, because it is fucking weak. It is weak, right? And this behavior tells the universe that you don't deserve anything more. You've been given your test and you fucking failed it miserably. And I've done that too many times, right? So overall, you need to be okay with missing out. And that is a result of, saying no and not making these bad decisions, making the right decision for you every single time. Because at the end of the day, you need to be someone who lives for the future, lives for the legacy, what they're fucking building. Not someone who lives in the moment and acts off emotion and what is in front of them right now. Nothing's going my way, this has happened, I'm gonna do this in the moment because it feels good. That is short-term gratification, and in turn, you are sacrificing your long-term gratification. And what I like to remember when I feel like I'm missing out when in the moment, when I'm, paying my dues of what it costs to be successful, when I feel like shit, the delayed gratification, I think, would I rather live this way for a weekend, for a week? Would I rather live this way my whole fucking life? And you've really just got to put it into comparison, because what you're missing out on is temporary, and what you're building, if you build it right, will last forever. And that is really the cost of being successful. It's really just the sacrifices you have to make on a day-to-day basis. And there's no point of doing it for a week, a month, even a year. You have to dedicate yourself to this lifestyle. It's not, don't look at it as decision making. Don't look at it as a chore. It is your lifestyle, it's a part of you. This is how you operate. And if you do that, if you are willing to make the sacrifice, if you are willing to pay your dues, if you are willing to be stressed, if you are willing to be lonely, if you are willing to be missing out on shit, if you are willing to be on this mission by yourself and you embrace it, you will start to fucking love it. If you fight it, you're gonna hate it. There's no cheat code for it, there's no vaccine, there's no secret formula to get there. The only way to get there is through repetitions of making the right decisions, making the sacrifices necessary, saying no to people, upsetting people, removing people out of your life, removing yourself from environments. It's what you have to fucking do. And you have to just hold yourself to the highest standards humanly possible, pretty much. You have to be fucking hard on yourself, and you have to be okay with the stress, the loneliness, the doubtfulness, everything that comes with it. But the higher you get, the further you get along the line, the longer you live this way for and you make it your lifestyle, the easier it will get. The more people you will meet on the same mission as you, Because it's very hard to network and find people doing the same shit if you have no assets, you have no skills. Because most of the time people want to network with people above them, on the same level of them. Very, rarely do people want to network with people below them, and that is just human nature, it's transactional. So at the start of this, you're going to be fucking alone, very fucking alone, and you're going to be thinking, what the fuck? But the further you go, the more people you meet, the easier it will get, and that is the cost of being successful, right? It's like 5 a.m. right here. Got the Lambo, we're going to take it for a spin tomorrow. I've got the event that I'm hosting. Shit, life is good, and it's because I made the sacrifices. It's quite nice to sit here now. It's quite, reassuring, but there's going to be so many more sacrifices I need to make on the way up. There's going to be a lot more uncertainty. I feel like this one day I feel like the G, the next day I'm gonna feel like shit. You gotta suck it up, princess, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll leave you with that. Are you willing to pay the cost? Are you willing to pay your dues of what it takes to be successful? I'm sure you are. Let's get to work.